with two community stakeholders that have undoubtedly contributed positively to this community, which frankly is what this network is all about, showcasing the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. Catherine, which many of you have already acknowledged, is a tennis aficionado. You're going to see her on courts. I was looking on your Facebook page, from Glenmore, which is where I live, to the Boar's Head, to what are some of the other courts you play that I saw on your page, Catherine? You play everywhere.
Well, I run a tennis organization, and we're fortunate enough to be welcome at pretty much every facility in Charlottesville. So Keswick, ACAC, the Boar's Head, as you mentioned, Glenmore, and then we do a lot at Albemarle High School and Charlottesville High School, so we get around.
Okay, so guys, when we start this program in about a minute, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you want to give them some props, just put them in the feed, and we will relay it live on air. We'll welcome Short Pump to the program. We love when Short Pump watches this show. Stu Drake is getting some props right now from Aaron Beatson. Aaron Beatson saying hello to Stu Drake. And Judah Wickhauer is our director. Nicholas Erpy, hello and welcome to the program. Those questions we'll get to you from you, Nicholas, the CMO of Emergent Financial Services. Matthew Newton, welcome to the broadcast. He's watching in Richmond. Hello, Matthew Newton. Welcome to the show. Marissa Jensen, Michael Taylor, Karen Taylor, welcome to the show. Mr. Barnes, the Louisa County Board of Supervisors, welcome to the program. Judah Wickhauer, we can rock and roll, my friend, when you are ready. Good Friday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love Seville show. Thank you kindly for joining us. Of course, we're live in Charlottesville, across Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love Seville network. And today's show, we're super excited about as we continue showcasing the best of Charlottesville and Central Virginia. Our guest, Catherine DeSouza, is going to join us. She's the executive director of the Piedmont Area Tennis Association, and Mr. Stu Drake, the newly minted general manager of BMW of Charlottesville. These two folks, guys, representing what we stand for, positivity and contagious energy in our community. Piedmont Area Tennis Association has got some fantastic roots in this community, which we will showcase. Before we do, we would love to give some attention to some of our community partners. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine has been a partner of the I Love Seville show for nearly a decade. Dr. Wagner and his team have your back, and they've been doing it for close to 20 years in the Central Virginia community. Scott Wagner, thank you so much. Ting Fiber Internet, the crazy fast internet behind the I Love Seville network. And I'll tell you what, if you look on screen, you will see partners like the Boar's Head Resort, like Interstate Pest and Service Companies, Anderson Seafood and Catering, Animal Connection, Keller Williams, Yes Realty Partners, some of the best in this community. Judah Wickhauer is our director. If we can go to the studio camera and welcome what clearly is a popular lady in Catherine. Already Elizabeth Adams is giving Catherine props. Betsy Nugent says, "Go, Cat, go." Noelle, who helped set this interview up, says, "Yay, Cat." So many people on the feed. Welcome WINA and NBC 29 as well. So, guys, first, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Catherine, we will start with you. Before we talk shop, introduce yourself to everybody that's watching.
All right. Well, thank you again for having me. This is an honor. I'm really excited to be here. So my name is Catherine DeSouza, and as you've mentioned, I am the executive director of the Piedmont Area Tennis Association. I love tennis in every aspect, playing it, teaching it, sharing it, and just trying to get more people to love the sport. I have three wonderful daughters that I just adore, ages 17, 19, and 22, and I couldn't be more proud of each of them. And I'm just really excited about this new venture with BMW. As I have written, it's just a timely partnership, and I can't wait for the future. But we have a lot going on that I can't wait to share with with the listeners and with Jerry and with Stu. So I look forward to this 30 minutes.
Again, if you want to give the folks props, put it in the feed. I see it coming in. Georgia Gilmore, hello to Kat. Jack Roy, hello to Kat. McLean in Arlington, Virginia, welcome to the program. Scott Aaronworth of Virginia Beach, hello. The Esquire watching from Va Beach. Atlanta, welcome to the show. Kevin Gibson, giving Stu Drake some props right now. Okay, Stu, the show is yours. We will talk BMW of Charlottesville in a matter of moments. First, my friend, what makes Stu Drake tick?
I am the new GM of BMW Charlottesville. When I'm not at work, you'll find me on my bike, in the woods, and I have 2 Boykin Spaniels that my girlfriend and I love to run constantly because if we do not, it is a nightmare at home.
Very nice. So where do you like to bike? I'm a big biker myself.
Greene County, Orange County. I go north, I go into the mountains. My parents live out in Asheville, North Carolina. So you'll find me there when I have the time to get out there too.
Fantastic. I cannot wait to hear about the transition of BMW of Charlottesville. Before we do, Catherine, the Piedmont Area Tennis Association in the spotlight. I am a huge racket and paddle fan. When I'm not here at work or in this building, you're going to find me with a racket or paddle, either pickleball or tennis or squash or platform. Or racquetball. It's every day for me. I can see how it's an addiction and how it positively contributes to people's lives. So put in perspective, please, Piedmont Area Tennis Association.
Well, we are a relatively new organization. We've only been incorporated for 2 years. Charlottesville we're a community tennis association recognized by USTA, which is the United States Tennis Association. And Charlottesville did not have one for about 8 to 10 years prior to 2019 when we were formed, thanks to many of the tennis directors in the area decided it was time for another CTA, and I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunity to lead as executive director. So 6 months later, COVID hits and alters our plans, but due to creativity, hard work, we were able to survive COVID, and here we are. We're hosting our first wheelchair tournament at the Boar's Head this December, which we are so excited about, and the Boar's Head has been a tremendous advocate of PATA, it's our little nickname, and they've allowed us to have wheelchair tennis clinics. We're able to introduce the sport to younger players. We have 2 12-year-old girls from Forest Lakes that have participated. A UVA student is hitting with me, and it's just very exciting. And we've also expanded to adaptive tennis with individuals with cognitive impairments. So we are truly reaching out to everyone possible that is interested, and we go find them if we have to, but we want to share tennis, which is our mission statement, with anyone and everyone because we believe it's a lifelong sport. There's so many wonderful things about it. It challenges your mind, your physicality. It's just a wonderful thing, and we just are doing what our mission statement is. So,
Stu, what is it about this association, Piedmont Area Tennis Association, that appealed to not only BMW of Charlottesville but the Flow companies?
Number one, it's local. The Flow companies are all about community action, community involvement. When Catherine reached out to see if we'd be interested, my marketing manager, Anita, said, Stu, I know you're super busy, say yes. So after I went through the website and the Facebook and seeing all the things that they were involved in and getting youth involved and really anyone that just wants to be active, it was an easy yes, and we're really, really excited. We
got a big-time event coming up at the Boar's Head. I actually heard about this while playing pickleball at the Boar's Head. And then Noelle, who's watching the program, DM'd me, and I'm like, this is serendipitous here. I'm getting a DM about this a day and a half after hearing about you and this event. Put in perspective what is about to transpire.
So we will be hosting the first wheelchair tennis tournament in Charlottesville. Paralympic sports, adaptive sports have grown in popularity, and I don't know if you watched any of the Paralympics in Tokyo this summer, but it's amazing. So we are so thrilled to host not only adults, but also juniors. PATA is one of 4 entities that will host a junior division tennis tournament, wheelchair tennis tournament in the Mid-Atlantic. USDA Mid-Atlantic. So it's just a wonderful opportunity. We get to play on UVA courts at the Boar's Head indoors. We have wonderful
Coveted courts.
Oh yeah,
Coveted
they're
courts.
great.
Yeah.
And some of the wheelchair players have already played on them, so that's pretty cool. We have. Can I mention our sponsors?
Oh yeah.
So I don't want. And also, let me correct Stu. It wasn't I that reached out to Anita. It was Noelle Jorgensen, who is part of why we are where we are today. She is phenomenal.
Can I say this about Noelle? Noelle, you have hustle, chutzpah. You are consistent, stick-to-itiveness. I was so impressed. A couple of emails, some DMs, watching some of our other programming here. She makes it happen.
No kidding. And she has made most of this happen. Let me just say that the wheelchair tournament is presented by the Henry J. Javor Fund.
Okay.
And I'll say a little bit about him. He had a BMW convertible. Anyway,
this is for Stu. There you go. You like to hear that, Stu.
He was an avid tennis player, a graduate of UVA School of Architecture, accomplished real estate developer in California and Virginia. And through the Community Foundation, our current president of the board, Kim Armstrong, was able to secure funding from the Henry J. Javor Fund to sponsor this tournament. So this is this tournament is presented by the Henry J. Javor Fund, but we also have Centara Martha Jefferson Hospital as a sponsor, Lumos, Crutchfield, Cuckoo Rashu, my favorite pastries, Lumineo, Dick's, Sporting Goods, the Hyatt Place, and the English Inn are our host hotels, in addition to the Boar's Head.
Awesome.
I know, so excited about that. And the one reason, the shops at Stonefield are playing into this as well with Samantha Strong, who works there. She's connecting us with Matchbox because we will have transportation for all the players. They don't have to rent a car. We will provide transportation to and from the hotel, whether it's Richmond or Charlottesville, to the hotels, and then to and from the hotels to the resort to play. And then, so going back to Charlottesville, the Visitors Bureau has been huge. It's just, I get distracted. Kim Armstrong, Realtor, she's a president of our board right now. Quick Fix, Rag and Mountain Running Shop. I don't think Meridian Planning Group, USTA Wheelchair Tennis, and then, of course, BMW. What was I going to say?
You got a lot of great community partners making this happen.
Well, so I know why we love Charlottesville. Now that it's on my brain.
Sure.
I am so overwhelmed every time I'm on a tennis court with Charlottesville players. It's just, we just have so much fun. There's so much support. When I was at Glenmore, a week ago Monday, we had a match, and I was on the opposing team, and their members were cheering us on and complimenting our shot, whatever. It's just a wonderful tennis community. It truly is one of the best tennis communities in the country. It's small, but it's unique. I'm just really happy to be a part of it.
You're getting some love, and I could tell you're almost getting emotional here.
I'm not going to cry.
It's okay if you do. It's absolutely okay if you do. I do it all the time on this program. Okay. I'm Monty Harvey giving you love. Daniel Harper says, "What's up, Stu?" If you want to give this gentleman some props and some love, put it in the feed. This community, Charlottesville, Central Virginia, what it means to Stu Drake and what it means to the Flow companies.
Yeah, so for me personally, I was talking to Catherine before the show of how I got here. I was called on a Wednesday night and from Flow companies, and they said, hey, I was working for them down in Winston-Salem. They said, hey, we have an opportunity up in Charlottesville. Are you open to relocate? And I said, well, let me think about it. I don't know.
Talk to the better half.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's figure it out. So when would I have to let you know? So, well, we need you there on Saturday.
Whoa.
So
Wednesday night, we need you there on Saturday?
Yeah. So I started my research. I did my Googling and talked to some people, and everyone said, move. Charlottesville is awesome. Somebody that was already with Flow Company said, if I wasn't already grounded here, that would be the place that I would choose to live outside of anywhere in the United States. So I said, wow, that's pretty cool. So packed up the car and moved here. It's been awesome. It's a funny story. It was when I first got here, some of the guys were like, hey, let's go out downtown. We can kind of show you around, introduce you to some people. I said, great. And then we're driving, we get here, we park in the parking garage, and they said, all right, we're here. And I said, well, where's the downtown? I said, this is the downtown. This is the downtown mall. And so I wasn't used to not having skyscrapers and everything in a downtown area, and immediately when I stepped foot on the bricks, I was just like, this is really cool. The outdoor seating and everyone being really a community and having fun, it just made me feel good, made me feel welcome without anyone actually saying welcome.
So any culture shock?
A little bit.
Yeah?
A little bit. One of the things I really love about Charlottesville is that there's not many people from Charlottesville here. Everyone moves here, and it brings so much diversity to the city, and it's really exciting to see.
I'll tell you what, Catherine, let's get you in the mix. And first, we're going to acknowledge some of your many friends. And many of them are watching now. Jane Riddle gives you the heart emoji right now.
Thank
Is
you,
it
Jane.
Mina
Dasgupta.
Dasgupta watching the program? And she's giving you the hand emojis right here. You're going to love this question. How has tennis integrated you into this community?
Well, it did. I mean, that's how I got integrated into Charlottesville. In 2014, I was hired by a Virginia Tennis Association, which is now Virginia Tennis Foundation. We were running World Team Tennis Leagues, and I was asked to have them in Charlottesville. So I became friends with some of the key players in Charlottesville. I got to throw out Peter Welch's name. If you play tennis in Charlottesville,
oh, yeah.
Peter Welch and Ellen. And it just grew. I've been great friends with John Sarasek. I haven't mentioned Farmington, but I didn't forget y'all. John and Ronnie Haas. In Special Olympics experience, I got involved in that. That probably was one of the biggest things that really got me grounded in Charlottesville. I volunteered for that. I don't know if you know that tournament, but it's a Special Olympics tennis tournament at the Boar's Head every February. Well, I guess this year it's February. They didn't have it last year due to COVID, but it's an incredible tennis tournament. Special Olympians from across the country and even a few international have competed at the Boar's Head. Once they step foot onto the grounds at the Boar's Head on that Thursday, all of their expenses are covered till Sunday. They don't have to pay for their rooms.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. And now I just found out the other day that one of my students is going to be a competitor at the experience. So I'll still be a ball person and an umpire, but now I get to be a coach, and I'm just thrilled. And that made me cry for like 20 minutes. I
love that you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Oh, dude.
I love that about you.
I do. There's no secrets. If you can look at my face and be like,
Those are the kind of people I want to be around. What you see is what you get.
What
Your
you
daughter's
see is what you
watching.
get. Aw.
Catherine Lee,
Yes, she's at JMU.
she says, I love you, Mom.
I love you too, baby.
I love you, Mom. She's watching right now. Kevin Higgins has got a comment for Stu Drake. He says, Stu, if you have a burger at Riverside, Winston-Salem will be a distant memory. Have you had a burger yet at Riverside Lunch?
Absolutely.
You have?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Stu Drake.
Yeah.
Props again here.
Yeah.
How long have you been here?
I've been here for 3 years.
Okay, 3 years. Okay, so this man's got plenty of time to have a lot of
Yes.
burgers here.
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to throw this to you. Talk about the transition with BMW of Charlottesville and Flow Companies and how it's undoubtedly embodied and epitomized local.
Yeah, so one of the great things about Flow Companies is we are a privately held company. So we don't have shareholders that we have to answer to. It's not about profit. It's about people. We're truly a people company. So we empower our employees, and we want to make sure that we are really involved with our community. So those are our customers. So those are our repeat customers. Those are the people that refer people to us, and that in turn allows us to give back. One of the things that you had asked before and I totally missed on was, what does Flow mean to Charlottesville? Don Flow, our owner, and his wife went to UVA. That's where they met. All three of their children went to UVA. Don played football on the UVA football team. I won't say the year. And so it was a natural place for Flow to do business, and BMW was a natural store to join our family.
Stu, how about some your friends watching? Bradley Landreth.
Oh, yeah.
Watching the program right now. Is Bradley in North Carolina?
Bradley is in North Carolina.
Uncle Stu. Oh, snap. You famous now, boy. Patrick Simpson.
Yep.
Looking good, Stu. High Point, North Carolina in the house for Patrick Simpson right there. If you want to give these guys some love, just put it in the feed, just like Devin Lee Melania. Is that right? Watching the program and giving you some love. Ooh, Catherine, you got a tough question coming for you.
Oh, boy.
Giddy up. Are you ready?
I guess.
Your favorite tennis courts and why? And this is from Lauren.
In Charlottesville?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
That's the toughest question I'm going to ask you right there.
Don't
That's
hurt
no easy
feelings.
question.
Well,
I guess it depends on the surface, right?
well, they're all unique.
Okay.
Can I answer this with a broad?
Sure.
I can't choose. I mean, first of all, Keswick, red clay. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
And I just learned today that they're going to do a major renovation aside from the hall next summer. Tristan Venables is the head pro there, and Gabriella Chase. I adore them. They're going to allow wheelchair tennis to be played on their courts this spring. In Europe, 75% of wheelchair tennis is played on red clay. So to give these players in Virginia, or within a drivable distance, to play on them would be so fabulous. So Keswick is awesome with the red clay, and it's a beautiful facility. Glenmore has got the prettiest view. Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. Boar's Head, of course, is just lovely. I feel like it's almost like a second home. Everything about it. You've got the indoor facility, everything, the cafe, the clay, the hard courts up top, pickleball courts. Farmington, stunning, beautiful. And then I got to give a shout out to ACAC. Davey Hairston, a good friend of mine and relatively new pro there, has really done a great job with the courts and a great partner with PATA. And Jason Gregg was wonderful too.
Love Jason Gregg.
I know, he did such a great job last week. But Jason,
You saw him on the show?
Yes.
He's great, dude.
I love him. I'm
Yeah,
so happy
me too.
for him that he's happy with what he's doing. But he was great to work with too before he left ACAC. And then Don Patrick, Jim Lubinsky. Don is at Fairview, Jim is at Forest Lakes, and then Joe Clark with Albemarle County Parks and Rec. Just wonderful people to partner with. So I've probably gotten distracted again, but I love every tennis court, even the ones with the big fat cracks in it. I don't care.
That was a fantastic answer. Fantastic answer. Stu Drake's getting some questions coming in right now. Stu, you ready?
Yes.
This is a good one right here.
Okay.
How, and this is from Kevin. Kevin, I love when you watch the show. Kevin, I'm sincerely, our viewers, and I'm getting emotional, right? Our viewers and our listeners keep us on our toes, and they contribute to this program. This is a dynamic platform that allows the viewer and the listener to change the pace and tempo of the show. I mean, it's almost like a first serve that's coming down the tee at $1.25 to a kick serve that's in the middle of the court to make sure you get it in the box right now. That's how they're changing the pace and tempo. Kevin Higgins for Stu Drake. How is Flow addressing the future of EV? Do you think the movement is really going to happen and gain significant market share?
I believe it is.
Good question.
Yes,
That's a
it's
great
a great question. It's something that we've known is coming, and a lot of the industry guys were fighting it, and I'm a relatively young person.
You are young.
So young.
So I love the EVs, I love the tech in the cars, but you had a lot of people that were pushing back, and it's coming, it's here to stay. The infrastructure is growing, it's getting a lot more convenient to have one. BMW has products that are coming out that are going to make it more convenient. So when you had ranges of 100 or 150 miles, you're like, can I really use that day to day? Maybe in town, but is it going to be something that I can have for a long time? Now you're seeing mileages like 300 miles, 350 miles. You have tech that's coming out for 400 miles on a charge. I mean, that's a tank of gas. So it's here to stay. We're investing a ton of money in the infrastructure for our store to get it ready to charge vehicles, be available for our customers to charge vehicles. So it's coming. It's here to stay. We're really excited about it.
Kelsey Klein asked that follow-up question. Will we have the charging stations? Please ask your guests to keep us powered to drive EVs.
We will have charging stations. We are adding a few more charging stations at our store.
Okay.
With Flow Companies, we are building brand new facilities across the street on Pantops. That'll be our Audi, Porsche, Volkswagen, and Mazda facilities. All that are embracing EV, you'll have charging stations there. And I know the manufacturers themselves partner with local businesses, and they are trying to partner with local businesses here locally to add more charging stations.
Fantastic. Lou Ann Pakula,
Lou Ann.
Giving you some props right now. Lou Ann says, way to go, Stu. She's watching the program as we speak. Mina says, Jerry, so glad I got connected here. Catherine is a compassionate and an awesome coach. And she gives the A-OK emoji in the feed. Jessica, is it Way Rooter?
Oh, Jessica.
I love hearing you, Catherine. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji.
Adorable.
You have so many amazing friends here.
I'm really lucky.
Seriously.
Really lucky.
How's this making you feel here, Catherine?
I'm going to cry. I'm so happy. I just, to be in this role just is like a dream come true. I mean, it is a dream come true. And it's just, we just have so much momentum right now that I'm so excited for next year. We haven't been able to do a lot of junior programming because of COVID, but next year we're going to be gangbusters. One thing I didn't mention is everything we do with wheelchair and adaptive is free for them. We have sponsors. Well, we were receiving grants from USTA. We have, like I mentioned, the great sponsors I mentioned earlier, but I didn't mention our corporate members, which I need to give a shout out to because they enable us to do these things for free. Cedar Hill Mobile Home Park, Kim Armstrong Realtor, our president, Hartrue, I got your pin.
Love Hartrue.
They are amazing.
Amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
Pat Hansen, Brandy, thank you so much for everything y'all have done for us. Charlottesville Pathology, that happens to be where Noelle works. Charlottesville Pathology Associates, Boar's Head Resort, Family Ties and Pies. If you haven't had any of Lynette's pies, you need to go to the farmer's market at Ix Park on Saturday morning and get you. Her pies are phenomenal. And then Print Source. Print Source has been great. They did those cups for us. They gave us drawstring bags last year that we gave. I was a part of a wheelchair tennis tournament in Richmond, and I got to give a shout out to Sportable. Forest Lodge, I love you. They're also one of the reasons why we're having this wheelchair tournament. We had one planned last summer, but of course COVID nixed that. But he's been great. They let us bring their sports chairs from Richmond to Charlottesville to allow these wheelchair players that don't have sports chairs to use them because you cannot play in a regular wheelchair. You have to have a sports chair.
That was a follow-up question here. Let me throw that to you, and continue.
I mentioned everybody.
How does it work?
Oh, it's amazing. The only difference between able body and wheelchair, the only difference is you get 2 bounces.
Okay.
Everything else is the exact same. But tennis is a difficult sport. So imagine sitting in a wheelchair. So yesterday I was with Ping Nedelusky. I love you too and your family. They live in Forest Lakes. So just getting comfortable moving, rolling the chair, moving and turning, recovering to the hub. It just takes practice and the desire. And fortunately, the people that we work with we're given them the opportunity to practice, but they want to do it. So, and then Mason McGrady is a student at UVA. Is wonderful to work with too. He really is eager. He does a lot of wheelchair basketball. It's just amazing to see them excel, and it's just awesome.
This question's coming in, and J-Dubs, if we can go on a one-shot with Catherine, you're a very well-liked individual. I can see by what's coming in right here. COVID and how it's impacted the sport. From our perspective, and you're the expert, I'm just a guy with a microphone here, COVID and tennis, perfect, right? You're outside, you're swinging a racket, so you have way more than 6 feet of separation right there because you're swinging a racket. You're on a court. Even when you're playing doubles, you're far enough from each other. I mean, just like golf has exploded because of the pandemic, I would imagine that it's really put tailwinds behind the sport of tennis as well. But the show's yours on that topic.
Well, I agree with everything you just said. I was never scared to play tennis when COVID hit. I was actually at Snyder the day that the grounds person came and put the locks on the gates. He said,
wow.
He said, you can be the last court that we put the locks on. He had to go buy more. So there was a lot of debate about, why would you like the tennis courts? What's the big deal? But you have to respect people's opinions, their concerns. So we just kind of had to go with what we were given. So I think it did shut down. There's still some trepidation of playing tennis. People are still very concerned about COVID, and I respect that. But fortunately, the courts did reopen last June, and we were able to kind of get back going. Whatever, that was totally not correct grammatically. But, we were able to offer adult leagues. We still allow high schoolers to play for free. But it's still a concern. I mean, I don't think you're going to get COVID on the tennis court, but that doesn't mean you're not. But I don't let it prevent me from playing, but I respect those that do either stay back or play with only their close crew, or play with the mask on. Whatever makes people more comfortable, then that's what I want to honor.
Well said. I've learned that over the last, 18 months, that everyone has their own right, and we have to embody the golden rule and be much more empathetic and tolerant of various perspectives. That's what I'll leave it at that. Stu's got questions coming in, and this is from Brian Stiller. And he says, tell us more about the Flow companies. I don't know much about this company, what brands they are, how many employees they have, and what they're doing in this community. Thank you, Brian, for that.
Yeah, so Flow Companies was started in the late 50s down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, by our current owner, Don Flow's father. So Don naturally moved into the CEO and ownership role. We have a ton of brands, and I'm probably going to be wrong, but I think it's like 19 or 20 brands that we have under Flow Companies, 52 or 53 stores.
Wow.
And they span from Asheville, North Carolina, all the way down I-40 to Wilmington, North Carolina. And then we have our island up here in Charlottesville, and then we have an island down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I believe employee count is around 2,000 between the stores and our what we call management services in Winston-Salem. What other question did he have that I did not answer?
I mean, you're answering it. The history of the business, employees that you have, where you'd like the business to go?
Yeah, sure. So Don has said from the beginning that he's always going to be a privately held company that is a people company. So we really take care of the folks that join our family, and then the customers that join our customer base, we take care of them as well. So the line that he says in almost every single video that he puts out, or anytime you hear him speak live, is we're never going to advantage ourselves to the disadvantage of somebody else. So not only is that a great business way of ethically doing business, but it's a personal thing too. And so just him not only speaking it but living it out really trickles down to all the employees, and it's a really powerful thing.
Spencer Freeman says, which do you like better, Winston-Salem or Charlottesville living?
Oh man, so they're so
different. You got Winston-Salem watching right here.
I have absolutely fallen in love with Charlottesville. So the ability to go to some of the best restaurants in the country or the world. The views are incredible. I wake up every morning and I look out my window and I'm like, wow, I'm so lucky to have these kind of views right from my doorstep. So love you, Winston-Salem, but Charlottesville is going to take the cake on this one this time.
I love to hear that. Catherine, we'll acknowledge some of your fans watching the program. And Noel, we want to thank you again for helping set up this interview. Mina says the three of us make a great team. Gavin Erskine is giving us some props. And he says, Pata, in all caps. Suzanne Monroe says, you are the absolute best. I tagged Jason Grigg on here, so hopefully Coach Greg is going to see us in the mix. Suzanne Monroe, Michael Mary, Andrea Emery, Victoria Cobb, welcome to the show. Jack Roy, hello, and welcome to the show. We will welcome folks outside Nashville to the program, and some folks, well, this is the flow influence, some folks in Asheville and in Hendersonville watching the program as we speak. All right, so why don't we have some fun here, and we'll do some rapid fire on the show. I love rapid fire, okay? Catherine, I want to get your take on some of your favorite aspects of this community, but not tennis.
Okay.
Can't say tennis.
Okay.
Show us yours on that topic.
I have to echo your sentiments on the food.
Food's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Good thing we play tennis, right?
I know. Yep. I'm a huge fan of Foods of All Nations. I could go to Foods every day. Grit Coffee, one of my favorite coffee shops. I have to say, kayaked on, what is the reservoir on the way to Crozet?
Reservoir on the way to Crozet. Judah, our fabulous director, our viewers and listeners, put that answer in the feed.
You know, it's behind the new Ivy. Anyway, that water back there is fun to kayak. I should know the name, but I can't think of it. The wineries. I like those. I like where it's located. It's so easy to get to so many lovely places within an hour's drive. The people, let me think, the views.
That's pretty darn good. You did a great job. Miriam is watching the program. Miriam Teresa
Escanellas.
Yes. She
fabulous
says,
tennis player, too. She just beat me the other night. Damn it.
She said, Catherine, you're a cat. She said, Cat, you're amazing. You prefer cat?
It doesn't matter.
Okay. Francine Katzen giving you some props.
Oh, thank you, Francine.
Stu, your favorite aspects. You got a beautiful girlfriend.
I do.
What are you and your beautiful girlfriend doing?
Well, we are always out and about. I feel like we're never sitting down. If we do, she shares the love of sports with me. It's pretty incredible.
Ooh, which sports? I love sports.
Literally all sports. So it's the same question I asked her when we first started going out together.
Is that how you broke the ice with her?
No, it's not.
How'd you guys meet? Give us the how you met story.
Hinge.
Oh yeah?
We did.
It was amazing.
It was during COVID. And it was difficult to go out and really meet people. So we started talking on Hinge, ended up meeting. We went to Three Notch, one of our favorite places to go.
That's my favorite brewery.
And it took off from there.
Okay, what's your favorite local beer, Stu? And I'm going to ask you your favorite local wine here in a second. That's a tough one.
So I love all the new hazy IPAs that are coming out.
So do I.
And Three Notch is just doing an incredible job with all of those that are coming out. They're really, really, really good.
I'm gonna tag my friend who's come on the program multiple times, Dave Warwick, on here. He's the brewmaster.
Awesome.
At Three Notch. I'm gonna say, Dave Warwick, you're getting some props right now from Stu. And Stu. And Stu and Catherine, okay?
The green can's my favorite.
Oh, that's the 40 mile.
Oh, yeah.
40 miles in my top 10 from Stu Drake and Catherine. I just put this in the feed. So your favorite wine?
I'm going to have to say, as much as I love King Family and others, Septenary is pretty phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I would put it on your list. It's not far from King Family, but the wine is delicious, and it's very unique and it's beautiful. So I'm going to say Septenary.
Bradley, this comment is it Bradley Landreth?
Yes.
Who tell me about Bradley Landreth before I read this comment to you. Get ready for this.
Brad is one of the coolest, unique characters you'll ever meet. I met him in 2016. We worked together at Flow BMW of Winston-Salem back then. He's a pilot. He's a surfer. He's a motorcycle rider. Brad can do anything.
You ready for his comment?
I don't think I am. But go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Flushing a little bit. Bradley, is he watching at Winston-Salem probably? Is that where he is?
Yeah.
He goes, Stu, how does it feel to be a young stud running a BMW dealership, and what has been your favorite part of your new role so far? A young stud. I love it for Bradley.
Well, like I said, we worked together at the BMW store in Winston-Salem. I love the brand. I drank the Kool-Aid when I first got there and really immersed myself in the history of the brand. Had to steer away from the brand just based on where Flo needed me to be for a few years, but now I'm back. running a BMW store is really, really special. I'm fortunate to have the opportunity at the age that I am. But being a general manager versus a sales manager or some of the other roles that I've had, you really have a broad view and an overview of the dealership as a whole. So you have to really make sure that you're touching every person every single day to make sure they're taken care of, listening to people, and you're truly a leader in the store. It's a role change for me. So I was a sales manager for the last 4 years of my life.
You're a likable dude. I've known you for all of like 40 minutes, and I'm like, where do I sign? I want to buy a car from you. He's a likable dude. Yeah.
I agree. We just met.
Is it Beaver Creek?
Yes, thank you. Okay,
so
That's
Beaver
it.
Creek right
Lynette
there. Our
Minded
viewers
took
are
me
smart
there.
and
Yep.
answer the question where she likes to go
Okay,
kayak.
great, awesome,
Almost
cool.
everybody knows
Beaver Creek. Georgia Gilmore says that. So
Hi,
here's
Georgia.
a really good question for Stu Drake. Stu, you've got some friends too here. For Stu Drake, the founder of the company you work for, does the company have an active platform coaching the younger children in the community whose parents maybe cannot afford tennis coaching? And why did you guys partner with Paddle? That's a good one.
Well, one of the reasons we've partnered with them, again, we talked about this earlier, was that it's a local organization that is truly servicing people in our community. One of the things that I thought about before we said yes to the partnership was all the excuses people had to not be active. And the pandemic really amplified that. So now it was not only that do I not want to be active, but now I have an excuse not to be. I can't go out. I can't do this. I can't do that. So to see the programs that you guys have to really help people get out if they don't have the resources to do it, it's incredible. And I think it's great for everyone to be active, whether it's a racket or just simply moving your legs down a trail. I think that's super important for obviously physical health, but also mental health.
Here's a great question for you. And this one hits close home to me. So I'm very, like I said, all the paddle and racket sports I play, I'm very much, because of COVID, fallen in love with the newer sport, and that's pickleball. Mm-hmm. So multiple people, including our friend Kevin, great question, has said, how is pickleball impacting tennis in our community?
Well,
it's a great question.
It is. Fortunately, it doesn't impact our organization. Well, I love all sports. If someone wants to play pickleball, play pickleball. I don't want to touch a pickleball paddle because I'm afraid I'm going to like it, and I don't have enough time to play pickleball.
I think you would love it.
I know, and down the road when I retire, maybe. But there's a lot of people that get pretty worked up about pickleball, and the fact that they converted 2 Darden towel courts to pickleball courts really infuriated a lot of people. To me, I don't care if it works out that they converted 2 courts to pickleball, then so be it. It hasn't prevented us from doing anything that we have wanted to do. And there are a lot of tennis players that do both. There's room for everybody. So, if you like pickleball, play pickleball, but don't forget about your tennis friends. But it doesn't bother me, and I don't understand why people.
That's how I look at it.
I just think you got a choice, and if some courts are empty, that's just the way it is. Make them useful. I don't know.
I think that's a great answer.
It's a controversial topic.
So I look at it like this, and I look at it in a less friction kind of way. I see like anyone outside being active and like exercising and creating this like camaraderie that's based in competitive fun play. That's good for mankind and womankind.
100%.
Just because, especially over the last 18 months, we've been so like sedentary in quarantine. To kind of piggyback on what Stu said and why you guys partnered with PADA, being outside and being active and exercising and like lengthening our lives through exercise is a good thing. I totally see that. So people are asking for Stu Drake's favorite place for dates with his special lady. What do you think about that one, Stu?
Our recent one is, I might mess up the name. Is it Tavola or Tavola?
Tavola. Yeah. In Belmont.
Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Love it there. We ended up there on a whim after a Porsche event when I was with that store. we were just having hors d'oeuvres all night, and then all of a sudden it was 8:30, and we're like, oh my God, I'm really, really hungry. And we were trying to find out what restaurants were open later that had good food, and I'd been recommended before, I said, hey, let's go try it out. And they didn't have any tables available because they were booked, and I was like, oh my gosh. And the host that greeted us was like, well, here, I can probably fit you in out back. And so they got us out in the back patio, and we had an awesome meal, and we've been back multiple times since. Took my parents there when they came to visit earlier this month, and they loved it. So I think that's number one right now. We love the local in Belmont. We love Mas Tapas in Belmont.
Oh my gosh, you're a local dude.
Oh yeah.
You've integrated yourself well. Noelle Jurgensen, let's get to her comments. Charlottesville needs more courts for multi-use, pickleball and tennis. And you know what? Why don't we give some props to Jason Grigg and what the Greencroft Club is doing right now?
It's a beautiful facility.
I was there for the grand opening on Saturday.
I was teaching, sorry.
Okay, no, I mean, it's amazing. Do you want to give a plug for Greencroft and Jason over there?
Well, I went to the Greencroft in the summer. They had this Thursday afternoon
the concert series.
Yeah. And so they hadn't really broken ground, I don't think. But you could see the plans for the pickleball courts. And I'm so happy for Jason to have this opportunity to work there and share his love with pickleball. I mean, if you can't tell how much he loves pickleball, then, and I just think it's great. I think it's been a great evolution for him to get to where he is, and at the Greencroft, which is beautiful. I think it's exciting.
This comment's coming in about your affinity for yoga. Kat is also really great at yoga and offered yoga to tennis members via Zoom during early active COVID time. Really, cool. Kat?
That's awesome.
Tell me about that.
I might have been a Noelle thing. That's how Mina, that's not how Mina and I know each other, but her grandson took tennis lessons where I used to work. And I used to be a certified yoga instructor. I've worn a lot of hats in my life.
I love it. Renaissance woman.
But, when COVID hit, we wanted to keep our members engaged. So I offered free yoga. Well, I think we did ask people to pay, just kind of a little donation, if you will. I kind of borrowed that from Now Yoga because they did the same thing. Now Yoga is a local yoga place. So we did that. In addition to yoga, we had Zoom Family Feud. It wasn't Family Feud because that was USTA. We did some Zoom fun things, little socials on Wednesday nights where we could get a drink and we'd all be Zooming and talking about stuff. And it was just a way to keep us connected when we couldn't see each other.
Stu, Luis Honey? Am I saying Luis? I'm messing up your last name. I apologize. He says Stu. Joseph Adams giving you some props as well. 4 states on the show, literally as we speak. All right, we're 50 minutes in. You guys are absolutely on fire. Time flies when you're having fun and you're singing the positive praises of the community. Stu, I want to give you pick your brain a little bit more here.
Sure.
You've talked about restaurants. You like hazy, good beer.
Yeah.
Have you had an opportunity to go to some UVA sporting events?
Oh, yeah.
And the follow-up question is, tell us your favorite sports teams here at UVA and some of your favorite memories from sports at UVA.
Well,
this is from a Winston-Salem guy here.
I know.
That's Stephen Deacon's country.
It is. Yeah. So one of the unfortunate things is I got here and only had 1 year of the normal life that we used to live.
Yeah, right.
It was amazing. So I was able to go to a few football games, and then I went to a ton of the basketball games, and that was the year that we won it, and it was really exciting to be a part of that. In my first year in Charlottesville, to have that happen was really, really cool. So I just went to the football game, and Wake Forest. Okay. Oh my gosh, lived there.
That's amazing.
Went to that game. We didn't play the best here, but I had the luck of being able to root for either team.
There you go.
And so I won either way. Yeah. So I love going to the football games because I love fall time and winter and being outside that way. But it's really hard to beat going to a basketball game here at UVA and the energy that's at the arena. That's a ton of fun.
Good answer. Shirley Trish, welcome to the program. I think she's watching in Michigan.
Yes.
5 states on the show right now.
That's my great aunt.
Your great aunt's giving you some props. Raven Stevens, hello, and welcome to the program. Thank you for joining us, Raven. A handful of Flow employees, the influence of the Flow companies here on the show, and multiple states watching the show. All right, Catherine, I know you're a sports fan. You love competitive play across the board. I can see that. Any favorite sports outside of tennis and favorite UVA sports memories?
Lacrosse.
Okay.
Women's lacrosse.
Okay.
I took my daughter, she's a senior now. We went to the UVA women's lacrosse versus Villanova. It was
Okay.
Penn State. But one of the nice things, it was, I think it was in 2016, and they were recognizing Yardley Love and the One Love Foundation.
Sure.
And they threw out T-shirts, and we each got one.
Well, you called one. You called two.
Oh, yeah, we both got them. It's one of my treasured shirts. I sleep in it almost every night. I just absolutely love it. So women's lacrosse, I could go to pretty much any sporting event. And I do love basketball, the men's basketball. And I used to be, Tony Bennett he frequents Shenandoah Joe.
Okay.
The Ivy location.
Sure.
So when I'd go get coffee, I wouldn't be a nerd and think, hey, but I would just get a little Tony Bennett sighting.
Tony Bennett's the man.
So now everybody knows where you have coffee.
He's the man.
He is the man.
And
his wife, his beautiful wife, would always be with him.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we're going to close on this about what makes this community so special. So, and Stu, we'll ask you that question first. Catherine, we'll close with you, and then we'll ask you a follow-up question on the who, what, when, where, why of the event that's coming up at Boar's Head.
Okay.
Before we do, I want to thank all the folks that watch this program. We try to showcase the best of Charlottesville and the best of Central Virginia, and I think Stu and Catherine certainly embody our tagline, which is the best of Charlottesville. So, Mr. Drake, the show is yours with quite a bit of your team, and now 7 states watching the program. What makes this community so special?
Yeah, I think the openness of the community, it's really a tight-knit group here. The welcome that I received when I first got to the city, I think, is handed off to every single other person that gets here. And it doesn't matter if you've lived in Charlottesville for a day or 30 years. As soon as you put your stakes here in the town, you become part of the town. And I think that's a really cool thing. The inclusivity, anyone is welcome anywhere that you go is just it's a very cool thing to see. It's active. You can actually go out and witness it. It's not just an idea. It's something that's lived out. I love Charlottesville. I think it's a great place to live.
You should cut that into a sizzle reel, a highlight clip for the show, because Stu Drake, you are good with your words, man. You're very good at thinking on the fly. Charles Hayes says, way to go, Stu. Anita Barber says, go, Stu, go. Bradley is loving the program right now. I love you, Bradley. Antonio Rodriguez, hello, and welcome to the program. You, the listeners and viewers, make this show so fun to do, because we don't really know where your comments are going to go, so we just have to adapt to them on the fly. First, I want to ask you what makes this community so special, and then I want to close. You know what? Why don't we close on what makes the community so special? Okay. Before we get to that one, give us the who, what, when, where, why of the event coming up at Boar's Head.
Thank you. December 17th through the 19th,
okay.
Indoors at the Boar's Head Resort. If you go to our website, www.patatennis.org, PATATENNIS.org. There will be all kinds of information there. The sign-up genius, we will need volunteers, ball persons, people just to assist throughout the tournament. It's open to juniors and adults. It's letter divisions A, B, C, and D. It's an L4 event, a USTA wheelchair tennis tournament, and players will come from across the country.
There you go. Great answer. And what you love about this place? It's so special. I mean, you just
so
love
special.
it.
Well, everybody is welcoming. And I love the fact that I'm going to focus on the tennis piece right now. You have friends at every facility, club, There are no boundaries. There's not like walls. Everybody is welcoming and inclusive. And I just love the fact that there's so much love at all of these facilities, and how much they've supported this organization, which is only 2 years old. We have over 300 members. We do ask for membership because that $25 annual fee kind of helps us do these things for free for the wheelchair players, adaptive players, low-cost junior camps, trying to get younger kids involved with the sport that maybe would not have played before, or just help them grow their tennis experience. So it's just been a wonderful community to be just more involved with the whole tennis. I'm starting to ramble.
No, you're not.
But there's
You're
a lot of love.
passionate.
There's a lot of love. You know, when you play tennis, it's love, nothing, whatever, 40 love. But there's just a lot of love, and I'm really grateful for everybody. And most of you out there, you know that I love you, and I'm just grateful to have a lot of these viewers as part of my life.
Aaron Beatson, hello. Jerry Doom Jr., hello. 8 states on the broadcast. Cheryl Howerton, giving you props. Francine Katzen, giving you some props. Guys, this is what this show is all about. Fantastic people like Catherine and Stu. And we've 58 minutes flies by when you're having fun. I think one of the cool aspects of this is when you make your passion your profession, you don't work a day in your life. I mean, some days are better than others, but I just love doing this. I love talking with folks like you. I just love spotlighting the community, and that's the whole essence and premise of the I Love Seville Network. So for Stu Drake, for Catherine, support them, keep it local, support the community, keep your dollars in this community, champion the community, sing the praises of the community. Please, now more than ever, we need this. Charlottesville and Central Virginia does, and we're truly grateful for you joining us, guys, on the I Love Seville Network on a glorious day to be alive in Central Virginia. You guys have a good weekend. We will see you on Monday at 10:15 a.m. with the Monday Market Monitor. Have a good weekend. Take care. Guys, you killed it. So good.
All right.